Okay, y'all, I'm about to start on an intuitive painting, and I don't even know what that means. Do you know what that means? I think all of the paintings that I do are intuitive because I just do whatever comes to mind at the moment. But there's a new rage going around and they're calling it intuitive painting, so that's what I'm going to call this. No idea what I'm going to do except for that I got a canvas of 16 by 20. I'm going to do it vertical. I'm going to use DIY paints instead of acrylic paints on this one, and I know I want to do a flower because I love flowers. And the challenge in a group that I'm in, the Turquoise Iris Creative Connection, I believe that thing is, and I should have started on this a week or two ago, is how do you do white? Well, I don't do a whole lot of white, and the other part of the challenge is you have to use at least 3 colors. So I'm going to work on this canvas. It's a 16 by 20, got it going this direction, and I've still got all the paints here that were here this morning, and we probably won't finish this piece today, but we're going to start on this piece today. I'm going to grab a handful of these smaller chip brushes. Here's a little bit bigger one. That looks to be about a 3-inch. Like to have a better brush, but I've got some of my, like little paint brushes and stuff here too. I'm going to dump them all out where I can see it. The first thing I'm going to think about is it's flower, so there's going to be some sky, there's going to be some ground, and that's all I can, and some stems. That's about all I can think of right now. I'm going to start with the lighter color and then move to the darker because I'm fixing to do a bad thing and just dip right in here. This is almost empty, so I'm not going to be ruining a whole lot anyways. But let's think of the at least upper, I'm going to go for the upper 2/3 with this. And I'm not worried about how it goes on there. That'll be my intuitive part. Whatever my hand wants to do, it'll do. So let's get that on there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and go with the fancy Farmgirl for the green and think about my ground. And just squirt some of this straight on down here because I got it in this squirt bottle. And why not? We missed it. Stay with my same brush. Now I'm going to try to go up into that just a tad and then back down. Let's see if I can get a tad more Apothecary on the, I'm going to get it out of the lid so I don't contaminate my paint. I'm going to grab some of this Bohemian blue. This is a pretty deep sort of, well, no, you don't have a good light there, blue-green color. And so I'm going to now dump this in my water. I'm done with that. I'm going to get one of these smaller chip brushes, and I buy these at Harbor Freight, and they're like 36 of them in a box for $5 or $6 or something like that. I'm getting out of the lid again here. It's thick. I may need to mist that just a tad. That's what I'm going to do, is mist right in the lid, get a little here, and I'm going to mark where my flowers are going to go. Even though my flowers are going to be white, the depths of my flower is going to be this Bohemian blue. And I'm not going to worry about drying anything. We're going to have, here's our main focal flower. Little less important flower. This is what I learned in floral school. You've got your faces looking forward, your main focal flower, and then your next ones are a little bit smaller. And let's see, we'll do, you always go in odd numbers. I'm going to put one there. I'm going to have to dig in here now. And I'm going to put one here. So what do we got now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we should do 7, because why not, right? Here. And here. And I'm so dang symmetrical. I wish I wasn't at this moment, but that's the way it is. I'm going to dip back in. I'm getting more. Just blobbing this in. I'm not worried if any gets a little out of the lines or anything like that. These are just markers for where my flowers, my white flowers, are going to go. We're just wanting to make sure. I'm going to put a blob in the center of each one. You're going to want to make sure that it's deepest in the center. when you are doing a flower arrangement, everything has to, you work on having a center, well, a center core, more or less. I'm wanting these stems to come all the way down. So every stem would come from the same direction. So that means there's the center one. Of course, it's going to come straight down. This one is going to come a little bit toward it. This one will come a little bit toward it. And then the other is the same exact thing. This will be a thinner one, and it may not go all the way down. It would get caught in the vase part of the way through. Same thing there. Skinny one here. Skinny one there. And see how they're all sort of emanating from the same center. That's what you would do if this was a vase. And I don't know whether to put a vase on there or not. I'm going to draw just a tad on the flowers. And I'm just going to make like a sort of a C shape here and there on top of my boho blue. This is likely not to show up later because we're going to put the white over it, but I believe it will give our white different tints and shades within itself. Now I'm going to dry the stems just a tad. They're still a pretty good bit wet, and go back over them with the green. I might go down them with this black real quick and to give a little bit more depth than the blue did. I want to go in with the green now. Oh, here was the problem with that. I want to go in with the green now because I want a little bit of that black to mix in with it here and there so that I'll have different shades of green. Okay, now I'm going to try to dip half green, half white, and try to blend this a little bit. Can you see where I mixed in some of the green there? I'm going to go all the way down. This is thicker than it needs to be, but that's the brush I picked up. I'm going to go over the flowers now to try to make them mostly white. Now I'm going to go around the edges of my frame with this white. I still don't like those stems. I feel like they need something. I love those big clumps of paint that went all over the flowers. I like the streaks in the flowers too, and it's still sort of doing white, but I'm out of white. Obviously, I just splattered it everywhere. Let's see what I can do. We need to do something else to the flowers, and I don't know what color. Should we go back to the blue that's the underneath of everything? Okay, if you want to splatter, get a decent amount on your brush. This is a big brush to be splattering with. And then I'm going to do two things real quick. I loved so much how that squirting was coming out of this a while ago that I'm going to try to squirt some water in there and shake it up and see if I can squirt on top of each of these flowers again. But I had one more thing I wanted to try anyways. I brought these in here, and these are probably clogged up. But one has water and boho blue in it, and one has water and old 57 in it. And I should have like cleaned them out and cleaned out the spouts when I first did it. Now I'm wanting it to run. No, that ain't the way it's gonna work. Oh, it's coming out, it's coming out. It doesn't look dark blue, but there's something spraying out of there. I'm trying to create a little bit of a blue runny shadow underneath the flowers right now. I did tell y'all it was intuitive, right? Yes, I'll squirt some blue on top. Yeah, let me get this underneath them like a shadow and get the runs toward the bottom going. This also washes off some of that layer of white that I put on there because it's reactivating the layers that are underneath it. So I'm trying to semi-go with the shape of the flower when I hit it with the water. Okay, I'm dipping in here and get me a bunch of it, y'all. And all this is still wet, so, oh, I love it, I love it. Oh, please let that stay till tomorrow. It's making a little bit of a swirl in there. They may become lollipops by tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. Thanks. Bye.